The individual specimens that you see here are actually birds that were furnished to the Sea Grant program through the National Marine Fisheries Service and NOAA as demonstration models to give to the individual shrimpers and to the fishermen to try them out and see what they like. In other words, they're looking for feedback on these individual devices. There's a variety of types here, so the individual shrimper can actually has a chance to use different types and see which one works better for he or her. And then hopefully they will tell us which ones work best, and then we will do further research on that and start to emphasize the ones that the fishermen feel are better and still qualify to have the catch reduction that we're shooting for, that nymphs are shooting for. The birds are one of the tools that the shrimpers have right now to actually help them, but also to help the total management process of finfish and of the crustacean fishery. So in the case of the red snapper, where the shrimpers are sometimes targeted for their impact on juvenile red snappers, the use of birds greatly reduces the incidental catch of red snapper juveniles when they're in that particular zone where red snapper juveniles are.
Now these devices here, these are mandated by law to be used in federal waters. So any boat plying the federal waters, which is 3 miles offshore, it is required by law to have a bird device in your net. Inshore waters, it is not required at this time, although that may come in effect at some future date. Most of us in the inshore waters, all my friends and I, we've always used fish eyes. Fish eyes, about 10% reduction in shrimp catch, what we've seen in fish eyes, and about a 35% reduction in finfish for fish eyes, standard fish eyes. This particular one, the extended funnel, we've only had like a little bit over 2% loss of shrimp, which is really great. Now the finfish reduction is a little bit less, about a 27% reduction in finfish. Probably not quite where the 30% that they kind of target at, but the shrimp reduction is really great in this. You know, there's not a lot of loss in this one. The rules for federal waters has just changed as we just were looking at some of the rules and regulations, and now they want the fisheye even closer to the cod and the tie-off rings, which means it's closer to the tail. And I think what you're going to see is a little bit greater reduction in finfish, but also a greater loss in the shrimp. This is like an extra hand before it even comes on board. This is like if you can expel 1/3 of your finfish catch, that's 1/3 less that you've got to deal with. This is a composite panel. This is the third one that we had. This is a little bit different, a little bit simpler design. This one here is tied immediately behind the TED. Okay, it has a piece of sapphire webbing on each side here, sewn right to the webbing that's comprises the excluder device. Okay, this one has a little bit different design. It doesn't have the tight accelerators that the other two have. This one is pretty much a wide open type, and basically the same thing as the panels on the double panels on the inner part here, and it's creating a little bit of a flow through the middle, a little bit of a dead zone in the outer part, and allows the fish to escape through two giant openings, one on each side. Now the results from this one are not quite as good as the other two. The composite panel has about a 25% reduction in finfish, but it has about a 5% loss in shrimp catch. 5%, it's still half of what the fisheye was doing, but which is better, but not quite as good with the finfish reduction. But it's real small, simple, very, very lightweight, very easy to handle. If you're in an area where you're experiencing a lot of debris, this may be the type to use. Last year we were using these right after a couple of little hurricanes that passed by, and we were battling chunks of marsh, broken pieces of marsh, So this, in that scenario, in that type of scenario, when you're in an area where there's a lot of debris or something that would clog, this is probably the better type to use.
This webbing on the inside here, this new and improved webbing, it's called sapphire webbing, and there is a very big initiative to try and get shrimpers to actually use this new and improved webbing because of the drag coefficient on this particular blue and gold webbing as opposed to regular nylon webbing. They have documented that webbing of this type, of the purple and gold, is approximately 23% more efficient, fuel efficient, than actually dragging a net of the nylon. Of course, this is more expensive, but the fuel savings over time will justify the conversion from the nylon netting to sapphire webbing.
Yeah, as fishermen, we try to catch the shrimp as clean as possible. It reduces our workload, and the end result is a much more quality shrimp. If you've got a load of fish to dig through to get your shrimp out of, it's going to be labor intensive, time consuming. That means the shrimp are going to be on the deck longer before they're iced up. We as fishermen, of course this industry has evolved and changed over the years, and now more so than ever we need to market our product. So to market our product, we need a quality product. So the less finfish that we have to deal with on board, on deck, to clean our drags, the sooner that we can get the job done, and the quicker that we can get it on ice, the more quality product we have. So it's important to us, not only as a benefit to the environment and helping the finfish population, but also as part of our business here to get a quality product to the table.